Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we can come back to statements.
Very well. Honourable members, by the agreement to defer the conclusion on item 9A, we then move to item 9B, standing in the name of Honourable Alexander Kwamena Afenyo Makin, Osahin, Member of Parliament for Ofutu. You have the floor.
Speaker, let me thank you for this treasure space to make this statement on the matter of free speech, civil liberties, and the rule of law in Ghana. Speaker, there are moments in the life of a nation that demand more than politics, moments that call upon us to speak as custodians of something sacred. This is one of such moments. Ghana was built by men and women who believed that truth must be free to speak, that power must be free to be questioned, and that no government, however well-intentioned, holds a mandate to muzzle the voice of the people. What is happening in this country today goes beyond partisan politics. It is a question edged into the conscience of the nation itself about the kind of Ghana we are and whether we still have the courage to remain the Ghana we promised the world would be. Ghana's democracy is among the most celebrated on the African continent. We have earned that distinction through decades of sacrifice, civic vigilance, and unrelenting commitment to constitutionalism. We have weathered coups, transitions, and the painful growing pains of young republic. Each time, we have chosen to return to the rule of law. Each time, we have reaffirmed that the will of the people, freely expressed, is the only legitimate source of power in this land. The right to free expression, enshrined in Article 21(1)(a) of our Constitution, is a birthright. It is the oxygen of democracy. And when that oxygen is restricted, the body politic begins quietly and dangerously to suffocate. Now, the weight of what has happened, Mr. Speaker, it is now a matter of public record that a number of Ghanaian citizens, members of the opposition New Patriotic Party, have been arrested in circumstances that have unsettled civil society, alarmed legal community, and provoked anxiety among the Ghanaian public. We do not use the word anxiety lightly. Anxiety is what people feel when they begin to wonder whether the rules that protect them still apply. When they begin to calculate before they speak whether speaking is safe. That is a profound and dangerous shift in the relationship between a government and its citizens, and it must be named for what it is. Mr. Speaker, let us be very honest about what free speech actually means in practice. Free speech, in its truest and most necessary form, is the freedom to criticize, to dissent, to challenge, and to demand accountability from those who govern. That is its purpose. That is why it is protected. We are mindful that there will be those who argue that the law is simply being applied, that no one is above the law, and that the arrests in question are matters for the court to resolve. We do not dispute the authority of the courts. We do not question that the law must apply equally to all. But we also know, as students of history and as people who have lived in this country through its many seasons, that the law can be technically applied and fundamentally abused at the same time. Now, let me deal with what is at stake. Mr. Speaker, some may wonder why this House should concern itself so deeply with the arrest of a number of individuals. The answer is that we are here for the principle, because the principle, once compromised, does not stop at a handful of arrests. It proliferates. History on this continent has shown us with painful clarity how the erosion of free speech begins. It rarely begins with the silencing of everyone. It begins with the silencing of some and the silence of everyone else in response. It begins, Mr. Speaker, in moments precisely like this one. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has built its reputation painstakingly. We are looked upon across Africa as a model, a proof of concept that democracy can take roots and flourish on this continent. Other nations have drawn encouragement from our example. International partners have invested in us precisely because we have consistently demonstrated that our institutions are stronger than any individual administration. We must not, in a moment of political temperature, squander what generations labored to build. History has taught us at great cost that the suppression of political speech has never served this nation well. Governments that stifle dissent do not strengthen themselves, but rather hollow out the very institutions upon which their own legitimacy depends. A democracy that is healthy enough to tolerate criticism is a democracy strong enough to endure. And a government confident enough in its own mandate has no need to fear the voices of those who disagree with it. I call to the other side of this House. Mr. Speaker, we the minority hereby appeal without reservation to our friends across the aisle and to every member of this House. Let us be consistent. The standard we apply today to the treatment of the opposition must be the same standard we would demand were the roles reversed. This is not a matter of political courtesy. It is a matter of institutional survival. The norms we establish in this chamber today will outlast every one of us. They will govern how power is exercised and how rights are protected long after this parliament has dissolved and a new one convened. We are not only making decisions for today, we are writing the rules for tomorrow. Ghana's democracy belongs to all of us. It is not the inheritance of any single administration. We are all its custodians, and we will all answer to history for how we chose to steward it in moments exactly like this very one. Our demands as minority, Mr. Speaker, we contend that Ghana has come too far. We have paid too high a price for the freedoms we enjoy to allow them to be quietly diminished in moments of political convenience. Let this House today be the guarantor of those freedoms. Let our deliberations send a message to every Ghanaian in every corner of this country that their voices matter, that their rights are sacred, and that this parliament stands ready, willing, and resolute in its defense of both. Let Ghana continue to be that nation. Let this House, regardless of political persuasion, stand as one voice in defense of the liberties that generations of Ghanaians have fought and in some cases given their lives to preserve. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, colleagues, for your kind audience.
Yes, we, majority and minority, we agree on 2-2. Is that still standing, Majority Leader? Yes,
Yes. 5-5. I think.
4 and then 1 on leadership.
So if 5-5, how many statements can we take today?
Plus leadership.
Honorable Patricia Piaget, if it is 5-5,
Yeah.
how many statements can we take today?
2. We are taking 2 statements. Yes.
So 5
So
and
5-5. It's fine.
yes, 5
Yes,
is
it-
25,
oh,
25.
just
It's 50.
No, I don't think so. 4 plus 1. The leadership. Pardon? 5-5. I think 5 minutes comments were not. Please, I think people are very much interested in the subject. So let's give them the opportunity to express
Honorable
themselves.
members, I
Right.
believe
Thank you.
if one person is speaking for 5 minutes and we are taking 5-5, that is 10 people. By 2 statements, we should be going beyond 2 hours. We can operate within an hour. So 3 plus leadership.
Yes, we don't have any objection.
Very well. Honorable Sam George, you have the floor. You are speaking for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank the Minority Leader for
Timekeeper.
the statement that he has made. In fact, just this past weekend, myself and the Minority Leader were at the Ghana Journalist Association World Press Freedom Day. Mr. Speaker, it's important that we put in perspective where we sit as a country. Ghana ranked 39th out of 180 countries in this year's World Press Freedom Day, and number 4 in Africa. In 2023, Ghana ranked 62. So we have come from far. Under the NPP, we were number 62 out of 180. Today, under President Mahama, we are number 39. That is progress. And Mr. Speaker, to even put this in perspective, the United States is number 64 in the world. So Ghana is doing way better, 25 places ahead of the United States. So when it comes to press freedoms, Ghana is a shining example under President John Dramani Mahama. President Mahama, and this is not by Sam George, this is by Reporters Without Borders. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama is a president under whose tenure no journalist has been killed. We cannot say that about the immediate past NPP administration. Ahmed Swale is a blot on our national history under the NPP's administration. Under President Mahama, no journalist has had to travel out of this country out of fear for his life. Manasseh Azuri Awuni ran away under the NPP. We are in a better place. President Mahama is a president who does not just tolerate scrutiny, he embraces it, because he believes that when journalists ask the hard questions, they drive accountability. But Mr. Speaker, freedoms are not absolute. Freedoms come with a certain level of responsibility. And Mr. Speaker, under this administration, our colleague Dominic Ayine has not taken any journalist to court. But under the NPP, the Attorney General dragged Ohini Boama Beni to court and got him jailed by the courts. That is the record of the NPP. The likes of Captain Smart, the likes of Kwabna Bobie Ansa, state-sponsored persecution of journalists is a thing of our past that ended with the abysmal defeat of the NPP and will not happen under the Mahama administration. Mr. Speaker, I am happy that in the statement, the Minority Leader says, and I quote, "We do not dispute the authority of the courts." That's very telling, because just a few days ago, he said he would disrespect the circuit court judge, and he will repeat it and disrespect that judge. I am happy that today he has come to respect the authorities of the court.
Keep his time. Let me recognize Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, you have a reputation of calling people to order when they go outside of the rules. Mr. Speaker, with respect, the colleague is misquoting me for his own convenience. I would want to urge upon you to direct him to withdraw that aspect of the submission. Mr. Speaker, if he wants to refer to a statement I've made, he should read it in full. What he has said is not what I've said. That is my submission to you.
Yes, Honorable Minister, take note, do the needful.
Right Honorable Chair, I paraphrased the comments of the minority leader, and he said,
please just do the needful because of the time.
Which is to
He
withdraw
said
what he
that
said.
was not what he said. He's insisting you read his statement in full.
Right Honorable Speaker.
And reading that statement in full would have taken all your time.
Yes,
so just
which is
withdraw and let's
impossible.
make
But right Honorable
progress.
Speaker, if you ask me to withdraw that, he who alleges must prove. The burden of proof is on him to show that what I have said is not what he said.
Honourable members, let's make progress. The statement that the majority leader is offended is ordered to be expunged from the record. Let's make progress. Honourable John Jinapo.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank the minority leader for bringing this issue to the fore, because it gives us the opportunity, first of all, to set the record straight. Mr. Speaker, let me put on record and let me succinctly, without equivocation, without a shred of evidence, that under President Mohammed's administration, there is no threat to freedom of speech, there is no threat to press freedom, and that if you communicate within the ambit of the Constitution, you would have no problem with the Republic, you have no problem with the state agencies. Mr. Speaker, I just want to quote one statement. This is Ghana Web. Mr. Speaker, young woman arrested for threatening President Mahama. Mr. Speaker, when you threaten the president, even in the most advanced country, even in the most democratic country, it's incumbent on the security agencies to invite you, pick you up, or act in accordance with law. And that is exactly what has been happening. Mr. Speaker, I recall, Honorable E.T. Mensah, a member of parliament, a former minister. He did not threaten the president. He did not threaten the state. All he said was that it has worked. No, that is it. It has worked. In Ghanaian parlance, No, not picking. He was picked. After stating that or it has worked, he was picked up. True or false? Jijote. You recall Jijote? She was arrested under President Kufuor. You recall Kwaku Anyido? That day when I went to the police headquarters, I was beaten mercilessly. I had to run away. So please don't create this impression as if President Mahama has become president and all of a sudden heaven has broken loose and people are arrested left, right, and center. That is not the case. That is not the case. I side with the minority leader that as parliament, we should encourage press freedom, we should encourage freedom of speech, but freedom of speech is not tantamount to threatening the president.
Please,
I'm not even interested in
stop
insults.
the time for John Jinapo. Yes, minority leader.
Speaker, with respect, the Honorable Minister for Energy and Green Transition is so well respected by this House. Mr. Speaker, for him to go on public record to say that he was beaten mercilessly, Mr. Speaker, No, no, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Yes. Yes, minority leader. Yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I repeat, Honorable Honorable John Jinapo. Mr. Speaker, Dr. John Jinapo. Mr. Speaker, is a respected member of this House. Mr. Speaker, for him to go on public record to say that, Mr. Speaker, he was mercilessly beaten without, Mr. Speaker, without giving details, Mr. Speaker, without giving such details. Mr. Speaker, now, question. If he was beaten mercilessly, Mr. Speaker, this is a public record, and he's a minister of state. We've all been in this chamber. And, Mr. Speaker, I was in this house, he came to meet me. In this house, Mr. Speaker, we never had this matter in this house. Mr. Speaker, two, Mr. Speaker, that the Honorable Samuel Mr. Speaker, that the Honorable Doctor, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Dr. John Jinapo says that he was beaten and he kept quiet, he kept it to himself, and he never reported. There was no medical report. The matter never came to this floor, even as a member of parliament. And Mr. Speaker, today, Mr. Speaker, if he said it on a lighter note, he should indicate so or withdraw. Mr. Speaker, this is Hansa. I will plead with him. This is Hansa. Maybe you can avoid such exaggeration. But Mr. Speaker, I do not think that it's appropriate for a minister of state to say something on public records, the existence of which cannot be verified. Mr. Speaker, the existence of such act cannot be verified. The country is hearing of this the first time. And if he's saying it on a lighter note, I would want him to take note, because Hansa does not know your intention. Hansa would only record the words. So, Honorable Dr. John Jinapo, I beg of you, I cannot direct you to withdraw, but I beg of you to do the needful.
Honorable Jinapo, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious matter. And Honorable Afenyo, I also respect you a lot. If you look at Wednesday, 28 March 2018, Former President Mahama has condemned the police for what he described as their high-handedness response to innocent Ghanaians who massed up at the police headquarters on Tuesday night in solidarity with arrested NDC General Secretary Kwaku Anyedeho. And Honorable Afenyo, let me tell you the truth. I was beaten. I'm not kidding. No, I'm not kidding. Look, I went there that evening to show solidarity because then, at that time, President Mahama had gone to the CID headquarters to observe what was happening. And when we messed up, I recall this COP Kwesi Fore was his name. Yes, he came with the men. They started pouring hot water, that water with a chemical. They started pouring, and they started beating us. I'm being frank with you. I had to run away that day. This is on record. So when I stand here to make this statement, that we're beaten, it is true. We were beaten.
Stop the time for John Jinapo. Please stop the time. Honorable members, let's have some order. Let there be order. Honorable members, let's have some order. Samuel Jinapo, please resume your seat. Please resume your seats. Honorable members, order. You now have the floor. Honorable Jinapo.
Mr. Speaker.
John Jinapo, you have the floor.
In concluding,
please, you have the floor.
In conclusion,
you are eating into your time.
I want to conclude. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama will go on record as one of the most tolerant presidents ever in the history of this country. And I commend President Mahama for his patience, for his fortitude, and for his determination to serve this country. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I want to make it clear that whilst you have the right to speech, whilst you have the freedom to speak, you do not have the freedom to threaten the life of the president. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the venerable minority leader for such an insightful statement. Mr. Speaker, his statement highlights our reality. Our reality is one of abuse of the powers of arrest and indeed the court's power or discretion to grant or refuse bail in respect of cases involving persons alleged to have spoken in a manner that...
Honorable member, matters within the judiciary, let it lie there. Please.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, that is our reality. On the 29th of January 2026, the Ghana Journalists Association, in a press conference, raised alarm over escalating attack and threats against journalists. That is our reality. Mr. Speaker, not long ago, a respected journalist in this country, my learned colleague, Samson Ladi Ayenini, commented on the use of Section 208 of the Criminal Offences Act, Mr. Speaker, in dealing with people for exercising their right to free speech. And in his estimation, he estimated that in the last 17 months alone, in the last 16 months alone, 17 people have been arrested on the pretext of acting contrary to Section 208, that is, having exercised their right to free speech. They were arrested, Mr. Speaker, for having acted contrary to Section 208, just by speaking. Mr. Speaker, that is our reality. Mr. Speaker, in fact, there is really a reality that we need to look at. The reality is that our circumstance clearly flies in the face of the preamble of the 1992 Constitution. It flies in the face of it. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the preamble of the 1992 Constitution, in our solemn declaration to adopt this Constitution, we swore to protect and preserve the fundamental human rights and freedoms of our people, which includes Article 21. Mr. Speaker, what is even sad in this matter is that when these people are arrested, badly as it is, mostly the charges, very respectfully, are not supported by the facts. We can pardon the police because one would say that they do not have the training of lawyers. But what about the courts? What about the courts? For misdemeanors, people are now being remanded in this country. And we are not alone complaining about this. Persons, very respected persons, Mr. Speaker, from the side of the majority have also complained. The Right Honorable Haruna Idrisu complained about the manner in which this matter is being dealt with. The Interior Minister has also complained. Mr. Speaker, we are not alone, and we are inviting our brothers to join us. It doesn't matter how many people, even if one person is dealt with wrongly and contrary to the law, Mr. Speaker, it is wrong. And we need to correct that as a house. Free speech is the ordinary Ghanaian's tool for holding political power to account. Mr. Speaker, ours is protected in this chamber by the Constitution. And so, Mr. Speaker, if their speech, their right to free speech is being curtailed through intimidation and frequent arrest, their right to hold politicians to account is being taken away from them. And that, Mr. Speaker, cannot be pardoned. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, it is sad that unless our brothers join us in fighting this, there's the propensity that the president risks going down in history as the president under whose tenure innocent people were arrested and remanded just by exercising their right to free speech. And that, Mr. Speaker, will not be good for the president. Mr. Speaker, this is my submission.
Yes, honorable member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to also commend the maker of the statement for bringing out this topic for all of us to judge on. Mr. Speaker, let me say that the Constitution, as rightly quoted by my friend, states that the sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people. The sovereignty of Ghana resides in the people. And the preamble says that in the exercise of our natural and inalienable rights to establish a framework of government which shall secure for ourselves and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity. Mr. Speaker, this Constitution gives us that right to exercise whatever we have to do in the state for the benefit of ourselves and for the benefit of posterity. Mr. Speaker, I was expecting that instead of talking about free speech, we should talk and hammer on irresponsible speeches. These are the speeches that we should, as a people, as leadership, rise and speak against. Because this is something that, Mr. Speaker, you heard my learned friend talking about the fact that innocent people. It is these people who see themselves as innocent who are churning out hate speeches, churning out irresponsible speeches, and they get people to support them. My Lord, reading the statement of the minority leader, it reminded me of the Whig historians who were willfully one-sided in coming out with their historic facts. Because if you look at it, I was expecting that after we have spoken about enhancing, helping freedom of speech in this state to progress so that the prosperity and the liberty that we are all looking for ourselves and for posterity, for ourselves and the yet unborn, would be done, we should ensure that we speak vehemently against people that make speeches that are wanton disregard for elderliness, wanton disregard for the dignity of others, wanton disregard for the respect that this nation is noted for. So I, Mr. Speaker, would say that when we talk about, my brother was talking about Article 21. In fact, Article 21 says that freedom of speech and expression includes freedom of press and other media. So it is wrong, it is not proper, it is not true that freedom of speech is different from freedom of the media. It includes. If you look at the freedom of the press, it includes. And when we talk about freedom of the press includes the media. It includes the media. So, Mr. Speaker, let me say that all of us, in fact, as I indicated earlier, all of us should come together. This nation has come thus far. We have progressed gradually. We have solidified our democracy, and that many people see us as an envy. They envy us. They envy our democracy. But the line we are going, where even leadership can stand up, people that we respect so much can stand up against the courts, can stand up and speak against judges. This is serious. This is something that we must not condone, because the courts are the last resort that we all run to when we are in trouble. So we have to guard the courts with the sanctity that the courts have. We need to protect the courts. And Mr. Speaker, the courts are established for all of us, to protect our democracy. So even if you have an issue with the courts, there are higher courts that you can go to. So if somebody is arrested and you go haywire, speaking, talking, just saying anything against the court, against the arresters, Mr. Speaker, what do you expect ordinary people? What do you expect the people who do not know even about the law, who do not know about the courts, who do not know about this? What do you expect them to say? So let us speak against hate speeches. Let us rise against people, irresponsible speeches, and that would help our democracy to grow, rather than going this tangent, which is myopically, partisanly, myopically counts for all of us. Thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Nyindam, you have the floor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute to the statements ably made by the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, I believe that we all here will not be happy if what happened to some of our colleagues directly happens to any of us. Mr. Speaker, in January 2023, 8 female students from China Senior High School in the Upper East region made some statements about former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And this is what they said. Mr. Speaker, they insulted the president to the extent that they even named the president head, and went ahead to say that they want to use the president head for Pito. We all saw it in this country. Today, you cannot see it. Mr. Speaker, today, the majority side never heard it. Mr. Speaker, the school authority decided to dismiss these students, but the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, intervened and told them to please find another disciplinary way not to dismiss the students because their future is important. Mr. Speaker, nobody, I am not endorsing irresponsible speeches. I am not endorsing it. And I will never endorse it. Today, my colleague Sam George mentioned a statement made by somebody and said that person is calling for the death of the president. It's an irresponsible speech. I will not endorse it. But Mr. Speaker, so must we arrest such a person and put the person in detention to the extent that we call a bail condition that that person cannot provide? Is that what we are calling for this country? Those speeches that those children made, these SS students, they were even fed by the government by then. They were never arrested. That is the difference. That is the, Mr. Speaker, today, depending on where you are, depending on where you sit, you will never see anything wrong. The majority will never see anything wrong. But, Mr. Speaker, I saw something wrong. Mr. Speaker, let's be careful. There are issues that we must speak with one voice. Speeches like this must receive a unanimous discussion from the House. But if we decide to politicize everything, tomorrow, Mr. Speaker, the tables will turn. The tables will turn. The tables will turn. Mr. Speaker, let's all agree. Like I said, I am not endorsing irresponsible speeches. But Mr. Speaker, the cure is not what we are seeing today. That is not a cure. Where somebody says something, it doesn't sit well with the government, and the best we can do is to throw the person to jail. Mr. Speaker, that is not the way to go. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Energy said he was beaten mercilessly. Mr. Speaker, when in this country, people went to demonstrate, they were also beaten mercilessly under a government. We saw it. We all saw it. In any case, the brother is telling me that he was not beaten. He was not beaten. In fact, he would have known. His own brother would have known that he was beaten. But Mr. Speaker, for convenience, he claims he was beaten. For convenience, he's sitting down telling us he was beaten. But Mr. Speaker, his blood brother, born with the same father,
Yes, let me give the floor to the back.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.